Welcome, Fye family, to Flip It with Samara. Thank you so much for joining me on this Tuesday evening. It's bittersweet this Tuesday because this is the final episode of Flip It for season one, and we're going to be taking a break, but we will be back in May, right? Bringing some more good content before you. So it's a bittersweet moment right now. It's also the last day of celebrating my birthday all month long, right? So this is the last time that we're going to be giving away some freebies. So we want you to stay until the very end of the show so that you can be included in the drawing to take advantage of the freebies that we got going on tonight. And what we plan on giving away is some Fye swag. So over the years, I have collected a lot of Fye swag. So we have mugs that we had made with the Fye Finance logo on it. We have masks. We have hand sanitizer holders with hand sanitizer. Well, you can add your own. Sorry. And then we have keychains, pop sockets, all kind of swag, right? So it will definitely be a surprise to the winner as what gets put in the swag bag, but you definitely want to be included in the drawing. So we encourage you to stay until the end when we do the drawing. So who do I have with us tonight? I know that we have some people watching. Please say hello in the comments so that I can acknowledge you. Samara says, what's up? Hey, Samara, how are you? Let me know if you are out there in the comments, and I will be sure to show you some love, Fye Finance family. So again, welcome to Flip It, right? A show designed to flip the narrative on how we view and use finances in both our personal and our business settings. And before we get into the show, the meat and potatoes for tonight, I do want to remind you that you can follow us on YouTube. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Definitely go back and rewatch some of the videos maybe in the past, because like I said, we come before you every week with this content, a lot around tax planning, a lot around strategizing. So definitely some good information, but you need to subscribe and hit that like button, hit that remind button so that you are aware whenever we post a video. And so because I will be taking a break, right, from Flip It, we definitely are going to be doing a lot more on YouTube during that break. So I'm going to be putting up a lot of how-to videos. Okay, so some DIY videos for small business owners specifically. And it also may help some accountants out there. So if you know some accountants that have their own accounting firm, we're going to be doing some videos to probably help them as well. So definitely going to be more active on YouTube during my hiatus from Flip It. Okay. And then we also encourage you to log on and make sure you are listening to our podcast, right? So we are streaming along Audible, I think Amazon Music. I can't remember everywhere else. Oh, there it is. It's up. Spotify and then Apple, right? So make sure that you are definitely looking at or listening to our podcast. You can listen to that on your way to work, or when you're at your desk, right, doing some work. I know that I like to listen to books while I work, and I listen to podcasts when I work too. So definitely something you can do to occupy your time, right? And then it's tax season. So this is a very busy season for me, which is one reason why I am taking a break from Flip It, because I want to make sure that I give every last one of my clients my undivided attention during tax season, because not only am I preparing taxes, but I'm also, I continue my process of tax strategies throughout the tax preparation season until it's over. And so we definitely encourage you, if you have not worked with us in the past, we definitely encourage you to book a consultation to have us review what's going on in your tax situation. And then we can definitely create a plan for you, a tailored plan just for you. So we would love to connect with you. Our consultations are 100% free. Okay. You'll get a 30-minute consultation for free, where we can discuss what's going on in your current situation, and we can devise a plan during that consultation, get you signed up so that we can move forward and get you in the right place. Okay. And then we have our master class still, right? So I'm super excited about this master class, more so because Now what it is, a bundle. It's our masterclass bundle, right? So not only are we offering educational videos that walk you through how to take advantage of these tax shelters that can result in thousands of tax dollars being saved, right? But in addition to that, we also have some handouts that we're giving along with this class. So, and we have some tools that we provided within this bundle as well. So we have our profit and loss statement tool for small business owners. We have our estimated tax withholding tool, which is very helpful, especially with everything that's going on with the new tax law updates and the CARES Act updates and all that good stuff. And then we also have our finance glossary that does a deep dive into some of uh, the financial terms that I'm using in the actual masterclass, so it gives you a better understanding. And then we have our tax prep checklist. So these are for individuals and small business owners. You get this tax prep checklist. All of this stuff is included in the bundle. And then on top of that, you get 1 hour, a 1 hour free strategy call with yours truly. That by itself is valued at $175. That 1 hour strategy call. Okay. So that whole bundle is valued at $749, and we're offering it for $499, right? So that's a steal. Okay. So you definitely want to make sure that you're taking advantage of this before you do your taxes. Even if you are a DIY wire, I ask you, I urge you to understand the laws, the deductions that are out there that can be utilized in your favor. All right. So that masterclass is definitely important, definitely helpful. Tons of savings in that masterclass. Okay. So that's everything that we have going on, right? And I wanted to make sure that I was covering that because I do want you to be in the best position possible as we go into this tax season. And in order to do that, you have to be educated. You have to educate yourself on what's out there, the things that you can use, right? So please make sure that you visit the website www.fyefinance.com/booking to book a free consultation and /masterclass in order to take advantage of the masterclass bundle, right? So both very, very helpful tools that you would definitely going to need during this tax preparation process, right? Okay, so back to the show at hand, right? Flip it. So every Tuesday, we come before you and we talk about something along the lines of finances, something along the lines of tax prep, something along the lines of small businesses and how we can help them and the tools that they need to have in place in order for them to be successful, right? So tonight is no different. We're still on the path of education. We're still on the path of walking you through your financial journey, and we're still on the path of giving you tips and strategies that you can definitely use to do so. All right. And so tonight we're going to be talking about 6 tools that every business owner should be utilizing. And I think they're up on the screen now, but I will go through them. So the first tool that they should definitely be utilizing is communication. So a lot of people have or falter, I should say, in this area, myself included. So I will honestly say that there are times where I'm not the best communicator. Okay. But as somebody who is an entrepreneur, as somebody who is in a leadership role, you definitely need to make sure that your communication skills are on point. Okay. So the thing that you want to make sure that you're doing constantly is you want to make sure that you're being clear in your messaging, and then you want to make sure that your communication style is effective. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that as a leader, you need to understand first, who are you talking to, right? And then you need to understand what is going to be the best way to communicate with that person. And that's inside your organization and that's outside of your organization. So one thing that I use, or one thing that I do whenever I have a consultation with a client, a new client, and then we onboard that client, I always ask them, how do you want us to communicate? Because I want to make sure that I'm being effective, right? So I'm clear in the services that we're going to provide. I'm clear in the support that we're going to provide. And I also ask the client, what are your pain points? Because I want them to be clear in what they need from us. Okay. But then I also go further and I said, what ways of communication work best for you? Some people like to text. Some people like to pick up a phone and call you. Some people prefer email. Okay. I definitely would say that most of my clients get emails from me, but if I see that they're not responsive, I may shoot them a text and say, hey, I sent you some information. Please review it. Let me know, what you think, or if you can get that back to me as soon as possible, greatly appreciate it, right? So sometimes you may have to follow up with a text. Hey, Angelica, thank you for joining, love. But definitely know that, you have to choose a platform that is going to be effective. Okay, so be clear and be effective, right? And that's inside and outside of your organization. If you are a small business owner, you have to make sure that you're clear and effective. A lot of problems with small business owners is sometimes we don't know how to communicate what we want. So, in order to be a good and effective communicator, you have to be someone who plans too, right? You have to know what you want. You have to know how to effectively communicate that to others, right? So be clear, be effective. And then you want to make sure that you're using proper tools, like I just said, right? So if that person prefers email, use email. If that person prefers text, text them. If they prefer call, use your phone and call them. But you want to make sure that you are using the proper tools, all right, to make sure that you have effective and clear communication with that person, with that individual, right? And then you always want to make sure that you're connected and accessible, okay? Hey, Lady G, thank you for joining. You want to make sure that you're accessible and you're connected to your client at all times, okay? And there are times where you're going to have to put that phone down, small business owners. I'm not saying that you have to be plugged in 24 hours. That's not what I'm saying. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to cover that in one of the tools. What I am saying, though, is let your clients know, let your people in your organization know that you are accessible. So if any of you have worked in corporate America that's on this live, I'm sure you heard of the term open door policy, right? That usually means that the leadership is accessible. I can go to them if I have a problem, if I have a concern, right? So you want to make sure that your clients know you're accessible. You want to make sure that they are connected with you, okay? I don't just talk to my clients when I have problems or when I need information. Guess what? We send birthday cards. We want to let you know we're there. When my birthday month started off, we sent a happy birthday, email out, right? And letting the clients know that we're going to be celebrating all year long, all month long. So definitely be a part of the live so that they can partake in some of the gifts that we were getting out. So, and we say hello when it's holidays, right? Main events that are coming up. Like we want to make sure that we're always connected to our clients and we share information with our clients, right? So you want to make sure that you're positioning yourself as a guide, as someone who is a source of information. So that's why it's important that you be connected, right? In my line of work, there are a lot of deadlines. So we have to make sure we stay connected in order to ensure that those deadlines are met. Okay, so it's very, very important that you be effective, okay, you be clear, you be connected, be accessible, use the tools at hand, right? And then we talk about collaboration. So collaboration is a tool that is essential. When you think about collaboration, this can be a collaboration inside your organization and outside your organization. Some of the people in the live right now, Angelica one, right? That is someone that I collaborate with. Now, Angelica is an income strategist, right? And she specifically helps hairstylists, right? And so I have collaborated with her on other occasions to either further that effort, right? So there may be some areas that she wants to do a deep dive in as it pertains to tax planning or as it pertains in business taxes. And so she will, call on me. Same thing with me, right? If I want her to come on the show and talk about income strategies to my small business owners, then I have had her on in the past to do that. So you want to make sure that you are collaborating inside your organization and outside of your organization. That's really how you grow and learn, right? You have to understand, as a small business owner, although you wear many hats, okay, it doesn't mean that you know everything or that you're the expert in every area. Okay. As a small business owner, I have eaten a lot of humble pie, and I am not ashamed of it. I'm better for it, actually. Right. Because I understand that I don't know everything. I usually tell people that you should be hiring people that are smarter than you, right? You should never want to be the smartest person in the room, because how are you going to grow? How are you going to learn? Okay. So make sure that you are collaborating. So, a mentor, we talked about mentorship. I think it was during our last live. Find a mentor, right? Have somebody who can kind of guide you along the same path that maybe they had to be on, because they're going to know those pitfalls. They're going to help you avoid some of those pitfalls. You definitely don't want to learn the hard way. Okay, so you definitely want to find a mentor. That's one part of collaborating. Okay, join some groups. Join these Facebook groups. That's another part of collaborating. I know in some of the Facebook groups I'm in, they often give you opportunities to showcase your business, right? It's free advertisement, right? But again, you also can be a help to that group. Maybe someone will ask a question like, who knows about this particular form, or who can help me set up my business, right? So if you're a part of that group, you can be a help. Collaboration is the key, right? So use these collaboration tools, okay? I think we have one question, so I want to make sure that I visit the question before I move forward. So Samurai asks, how do you know who and when to collaborate with? That's a good question, Samurai. I would say be open, right, to collaborating with everyone, because here's why I say that. At first, I would have thought maybe I couldn't be much of a help to Angelica and the clients that she served, because she already is this income strategist, right? Like, she already knows like how to help them build their money and grow their wealth. But there are some areas maybe that she would like a little more insight in. Okay, so I was open to the opportunity. Okay. Same thing with LaShawn. There's another person that I collaborate with that's in HR. And I'll be speaking at one of her events in March. And so she's doing something for HR professionals. And I'm like, how can I help HR professionals, right? I speak to small business owners. But there are certain areas, right, that I can talk on. We're going to be talking about retirement planning during that process. So you definitely want to be open to those collaborative opportunities. Angelica says, I'm not an accountant and I don't have your skill set. Thank you, sweetie. Thanks, boo. True, facts, right? So it's all about skills. Again, Angelica is real big on community, which is why I absolutely connected with her so instantaneously. But she's real big on community, and that's all collaboration is. It's just growing your community. It's just creating a broader community, right? So I would say don't be closed off to collaborating with people because you don't think that you could provide any more information, or you don't think your skill is best served in that area. Don't do that, right? Because you may do yourself a disservice by doing that. Now, I will say this. I am not the best person on the spirit of discernment. Some people have a good spirit of discernment. Now, I will say this. When you are in a situation where you have begun this collaboration, but you feel like it's toxic or it's not the best fit for you, then absolutely pull back, right? But at least be open at first to entertain the thought, okay? So that's how I would address that, Samurai. So, be open, but then also be mindful, be observant, okay? All right. So communication, collaboration, and then we have productivity. Okay. So when I think about productivity, being that a lot of my years in corporate America was working with manufacturing firms, there are some things that they would always say before a big ramp up, right? They would tell us, hey, the people on the production floor, you need to make sure you get a good night's rest because we don't want any accidents. We want you to be productive, right? So get some sleep, small business owners, entrepreneurs, get sleep. Think about a computer, think about a phone, right? When your computer is shut completely down and you start it up the next morning, it seems to operate faster. It seems to open those files faster. You seem to be able to send emails faster. Why do you think that is? It's because the computer has had time to sleep and now it's rejuvenated. Now it can process, right? The same with your brain. You need to have time to sleep. Your brain is a computer, in case some of you didn't know. It's just a massive computer, right? And so your brain needs time to just sleep, rest, so that you can wake up the next morning and be your best self. Okay. So the key to being productive is sleep. And I know that probably goes against every single thing that you have read or heard, but I'm telling you, this is key. This is essential is sleep. When you find yourself not getting enough rest, you're going to find yourself making mistakes. Okay. You're going to find yourself not thinking clear enough to find a more effective and efficient way to do things. So I want you to get sleep. I want you to get rest so that you can be your most productive selves. Another thing that I do is I plan my days. Okay. And so what does that look like? I used to have a planner and I would write down all of the tasks that I had to do for the day. I would plan throughout the week on some occasions. So I would usually start on Sunday and I would plan out my week. Now, mind you, it may change as the week progresses because people will schedule meetings or maybe there's a fire I got to put out. But for the most part, the week is planned. Now I have graduated to a whiteboard. So now I have my whiteboard split and I'll have like goals, long-term goals, and then I'll have like daily tasks. And then I may have some other like professional development things that I also want to achieve and have deadlines. So plan out your days. It helps you be more productive. It's almost like having a checklist, right? You know how you go to the grocery store and you have a list of all the things that you want to buy. And as you're walking through the aisle, you're just checking things off to make sure that you get every single thing done, right? Or you buy everything you need. Same difference, right? It's the same thing. So make sure that you are planning your days. That is very important. And then you also want to make sure that you are setting weekly, daily goals. So, again, on my whiteboard, right, I'll have my tasks that I have to do, and then I'll have my weekly, my daily, my yearly goals. Okay. So, those are constant reminders, especially if they're in front of you. It's a constant reminder that you're taking a step in that direction to achieve that thing. Okay. It's important to keep your goals in front of you because out of sight, out of mind, right? So you definitely want to make sure that you're at least doing this to increase your productivity. Okay. Wayne has a question. He said, would this be the same thing as SMART goals? Yes, absolutely, Wayne. Wayne has been watching previous lives. Okay, SMART goals, people. SMART, right? Specific, measurable, achievable, relative or relevant, right? And then time bound. So you have to give yourself SMART goals, and they should absolutely have deadlines, right? Angelica says she got to see this whiteboard. Angelica, this whiteboard is something serious, okay? But I can't take all the credit. I actually follow somebody and I saw it on their wall when they were doing one of their lives. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need that in my life. So I started doing the same thing and it's been quite effective. I will say this, especially because I'm I'm a person where I feel like I have a little bit of ADHD because I'll be talking and then my train of thought goes off and I get easily distracted. So the whiteboard brings me back in, Angelica. So definitely a tool that I have been using to help ensure that I stay productive. Okay. And then we have marketing tools, very important to small business owners. We have had so many guests that have been on our Tuesday talks that have been talking about marketing. Okay. The one thing that I take away from using proper tools when we approach marketing is I have learned that I should only be speaking to one person. And I know other people are going to tell you, oh my gosh, you're missing out on so much money. You cutting your market share in like half. You need to, focus on a larger arena of people. No, I don't. Because if I speak to that one person well enough, then that one person is going to go tell another person and that other person is going to go tell another person. And before you know it, I will have a whole bunch of people that are my ideal clients, right? So speak to that one person. Just focus on that one person and make sure that when you're speaking to that one person, you take care of that one person. All right. So don't get caught up in the notion that, oh no, you need to be more broad. You need to cover this. You need to cover that. You need to do this. You need to do that. Because what's going to happen is something is going to suffer. Okay. Something is going to suffer. Small business owners, keep it simple. Keep it simple. Keep it sweet. Something is going to suffer when you start putting all these irons in the fire. All right. So focus on that one person. And when you're talking to that one person, think about things like what is their background? What is your ideal client's background look like? What's background? What's their job? What's their education level? Right? All of those things play a factor when you're trying to hone in on this one person you should be talking to. So their background, their job, their education. What do their demographics look like? Where do they live? How old are they? Right? Are they married? Are they single? Right? What are their identifiers? What is their demeanor? Right? Do you like upbeat people? Right? Or do you like even keel people? Right? What kind of communication styles do they like? So these are all areas that you should consider when you're creating this client avatar. If I have some entrepreneurs in the chat, I know you've heard that term before, right? So when you're creating this ideal client, these are areas that you should consider and make sure that you are so specific in these areas that you are talking to one person. I guarantee you, right? You will be more effective because one, you're talking to one person and you're going to be clear. Your messaging is going to be clear and you're going to be effective because you're literally talking to one person. So it literally goes back to communication, right? So definitely hone in, narrow it down to your ideal client, right? And then leverage those social media platforms. Social media platforms are free, right? It's a free form of advertisement. And so you can leverage Instagram, leverage Facebook, leverage LinkedIn, leverage Twitter, but know where your client is, right? That's why the whole demeanor thing is important because why would I be on Instagram if none of my clients are on Instagram? Why would I make TikTok videos if none of my clients watch TikTok videos, right? So you have to know where your clients are in order to be able to market to them. You got to know where they are, okay? So I think we have a question. So Wayne says, so how do you know when you have found that one person? Because the client avatar that you have created, Wayne, is literally going to be like them checking the boxes when you have a consultation. That's why I do consultations. So even in my consultations now, I've taken it a step further and I have what I call qualifying questions. So small business owners have some qualifying questions in your booking links. And what that is going to do is it is going to weed out all the people, right, that are not going to be your ideal client. Okay. So that way you know how to approach the meeting. Okay. So you definitely have to use these tools, Wayne, right? You have to use these tools in order to help you further your message, further your marketing efforts, and close that deal. Because that's what it's all about, right? These tools are to help you be productive, right? We want to produce income, we want to produce revenues. Angelica says, know where your crowd is. That's true, Angelica. Know where your crowd is hanging out. That's true. Know where they are, because you definitely don't want to waste your efforts or your time in an area where your crowd is not, right? That's just money that you wasted, and that's time that you can't get back. So know where your ideal clients are, right? Use email campaigns. So when you're marketing, once you have that client, right, you always, what I said, want to make sure that you're connected and accessible. So you can use email campaigns in order to let that client know, hey, I'm here for you, right? I want to make sure that you are getting the best quality of service. We're operating on a level of excellence, right? Excellence doesn't mean perfect, okay? But excellence means that there is a certain standard, a certain quality that you should be upholding as a business owner, okay? So do that with email campaigns, and don't just send useless information. All of my email campaigns are useful information. It's either reminding clients of deadlines, or it's giving them some tax strategies or tips, right? It's giving them budget strategies or tips. Like even with my budgeting clients, right? So I have financial coaching that I do. Now I only have one person in my class right now, and I'm not taking any more because it's tax season. But even with those financial coaching students, we send out weekly emails, right, to just cover information either that we will be talking about in the upcoming week, or a refresher of what we talked about in class, because we want to make sure that they get it. Some people need to hear, but then they also need to see. And I'm a person that I need to hear and see. Okay. So you definitely want to make sure that you are using that email marketing strategy. All right. Send those email campaigns. Let them know you're still there, and let them know that you are establishing yourself as the guide in the relationship, and provide that good, useful information, right? That's what's going to keep your clients coming back. That's what's going to make them be your biggest mouthpiece. That's what's going to make them feel secure. All right. And so then small business owners, accounting tools, right? Very important. I cannot stress to you enough how important this particular uh, part of a business is, and also probably the most neglected. And I'm going to tell you why. Most small business owners do not have an accountant. And to add to that, they only worry about their books at the end of the year. So already there are two problems with that, right? If you're only looking at your books at the end of the year, how do you know that you've done everything that you can do? How do you know that you're getting the best possible return process, or your best possible refund, or you're reducing your tax liability, right? Unfortunately, tax planning is not like your yearly checkup. Right? So you can go to your doctor once a year and maybe you're okay, right? Maybe they'll catch whatever in time, and it won't be a big deal. But unfortunately, when it comes to accounting, you should definitely not wait until the end of the year, because by the time the end of the year comes, if there is something that you miss, guess what? Those penalties, those fees, they were being assessed throughout the year. Okay, so it's important to stay on top of those things. Okay, so make sure when you are thinking about the accounting tools to use, make sure it's a platform that you have access to and that your accountant can access. Okay, so you definitely want them to be able to see at all times what's going on with your finances, because they're going to give you guidance. So Samara has a question. He says, when will you be taking new financial coaching students? Probably not until May. So after the tax season is done, Samurai, I will open that window back up. But yeah, it will not be until May because again, just got to focus on my tax clients and my current bookkeeping clients to make sure that they are good. But definitely make sure that you're using an accounting tool that both you and your accountant have access to. So I'm gonna tell you, I have a client, and this is just an example to show you that even if you are the best, when I tell you, this one client came to me last year, blew my mind how proficient this client was in Excel. And I'm an accountant, so you know I play in Excel, honey. I get it in Excel, okay? And when I saw her spreadsheets and how organized everything was, I was like, oh, bet. So I was like, how are you managing your account? She said, this is how I'm doing. I was like, well, bet. I mean, it looks nice and neat. Yes, honey, I can process your tax return off of this. So then, fast forward, now that client is a bookkeeping client of ours, right? And so, again, she kept doing her spreadsheets just like she always does. But the one thing that we do one simple thing that has changed every single client that I've ever worked with so far. And all we do is reconciliations. And I promise you, it is a simple notion that can save you so much money. So when we took this client on as a bookkeeping client, now that you're a bookkeeping client and now I have access to all your financials, I'm going to do your reconciliations, right? Mind you, she was also still doing her spreadsheets, which is great. When I tell you, homegirl is on it, okay? So we did a comparison of her spreadsheet to what was now in QuickBooks that I was able to reconcile, confirm to what the bank is showing, right? It resulted in reducing her taxable income by $12,000 doing it my way, reconciling, right? So she had overstated her taxable income by $12,000 her way. I reduced it by $12,000 my way, the right way, right? Then that resulted in a tax savings because taxable income means taxes assessed on that income, resulted in a tax savings of $3,000, right? So already, and this client is a fairly new client. She signed on with us in December, right? And so that's the turnaround we got to give because at the end of the day, anything that I'm processing from a tax perspective, but especially when I get a new client on that's a bookkeeping client as well, I got to get her books clean. Like I got to get their books clean by year end so that we can make sure that we have good financials going out and ready to do the tax prep. So already in the matter of weeks, right, we were already able to save my client $3,000. Okay. So right there, that's that's like a half of my fee, right? Like right there. So when people come to you and say, "Oh my gosh, I don't know," "Oh, I don't know." Think about the money you are losing by not using an accountant, by not having someone to review your books and ensure that you have accurate information going in. A $3,000 savings in weeks. Okay? That's the difference. So, utilizing accounting tools makes a huge difference, right? And again, that's not the first client and I promise you it won't be the last. Because a lot of the clients that come to us, they don't utilize those tools like reconciliations. And why would they? They're not accountants, right? They're not accountants. And if they've gone to a prior accountant, sometimes their accountant just doesn't do that. They don't, maybe they think it's not important. But I know it's important, which is why we do it. So make sure that you are using tools to track that business activity. Make sure you're using tools that both you and your accountant have access to, right? So accounting tool, number 5, very, very important. And then the last tool, ops management. So operation management is a very important tool. Again, I have a manufacturing background, right? So when I think about operations management, the first thing that comes to mind is a standard operating procedure, right? So a SOP. That's what that SOP is. So the SOP is basically a book or a tool that you can use to show a person how to complete a task, how to do a job. So when you're thinking about doing operations for your company, if you're trying to be a true entrepreneur, someone who is trying to grow the business, there are some things that you're going to have to let go, which brings us to delegate, right? But in order to delegate those things, you have to be able to give the person a blueprint. Okay, they got to know what they're doing, and they got to know how to do it. And so these SOPs are definitely a starting point, but at any time, they can definitely be adjusted. Okay. That's why it's good to get a fresh set of eyes in doing things. Okay. So creating these SOPs will help you free up your time in the long run because you'll now have the blueprint that you can pass on to somebody else and they can complete that task and you can move on to start doing other things to help further and grow your business. Okay. Another thing about op management is what I learned in the manufacturing field is that they hire people with specialty skills. Okay. So they want your skill set. They want to utilize that. That is an asset to companies. Someone who has a specialty skill is an asset. So, like on my team, right? Since I know that we do a lot of AR, right, for clients and we do some AP, I will connect with somebody who has so many years in those areas, right? I myself have a lot of years in AR, and then I have another accountant that has a lot of years in AP, accounts payable, accounts receivable. Sorry, y'all. So I myself, right, will definitely make sure that I am hiring somebody who has that specialty, who has that skill set. I have another accountant that I work with, and she's a tax accountant. So she's very proficient in sales and use tax. And so when I have clients that come to me that are selling product, right, we make sure that they're set up, that they're good, that they're filing where they're supposed to be filing. That's a skill. That's a specialty skill. That's something I don't have. Okay. I've done sales and use tax before. I can do it. But honey, that is not my ministry. Okay. And so I will go to someone who has that specialty skill set. Right. So hire people with those specialty skills. Okay. We also have another accountant that we consult with. He does tax resolution. We have another accountant that we consult with, and she's also a legal student, right? So again, specialty skills, things that I myself may not be proficient in, but you definitely want to make sure that you're surrounding yourself, you're collaborating, right, with people that have those specialty skills. So it's truly, truly important. Right? Right. See, Samurai says collaborating. Right. Absolutely. So again, make sure that you're doing that because I want to see you be successful, small business owners. I definitely know that these tools are essential. I wish someone had like broken these tools down to me prior to starting my business. Some tools I already had, like I knew, right, were a no-brainer. But there are some tools that I had to learn the hard way along the way. And so the whole purpose of this live tonight was to try not to make you have that same experience. I don't want you to learn the hard way, right? I want you to understand the importance of each one of these tools. And hopefully I've done an okay job with walking you through why they are important and how you can properly utilize those tools. Um, Another thing when we talk about collaboration and when we talk about delegation specifically, there is a tool that you can use to basically do workflow management. It's called Notion. That tool changed my life. So if you are a virtual based company and you are trying to do that ops management and you want to delegate things, use a tool that has a is a workflow management tool. So Notion will allow you to go and create tasks for your employees or for your consultants, and then you can see when those tasks are checked off, right? You can communicate in that workflow setting, right? It's an easy tool to utilize. It keeps everybody on the same page. So wanted to make sure that I gave you some examples of these tools that are going to help you be great. Because if you've watched this live before, you know I love to say that. I just want us all to be great. I want us all to win, right? So that's all that I had to share for tonight. I hope you found it to be helpful. Thank you so much for taking time out of your evening. I know time is precious. I really appreciate you rocking with me on tonight. Thank you, Angelica. Thank you, Wayne. Thank you, Samurai. DMG was in productions, was in the comments. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining tonight. And now, and Lady G, thank you so much. So now, without further ado, we are going to spin the wheel of names. But what I need you to do is I need you to drop hashtag celebration in the comments so that you can be included in the drawing. And it's some fast swag, y'all. So again, some swag that I have had made over the year. So definitely drop hashtag celebration in the comments so I can put your name in the drawing. I'm about to spin the wheel. Okay, we got Dream World Media. Okay, we got Angelica making a comment. Oh, Angelica, I don't see hashtag celebration. Wayne, I see hashtag celebration. Samara, I see hashtag celebration. All right, I see Angelica, hashtag celebration. Oh, Lady G dropped off. Okay, so I have to, Lady G is right there, hashtag celebration. All right, so let's see. I am about to spin the wheel. Okay, we got somebody else. I don't know what that, okay. So, okay, I'm about to spin the wheel so that we can see who is the lucky winner. Who's going to get this Fye Finance swag? Y'all, I even got mask, right? I don't think we ever going to get out of mask. So I think I'm going to put that in there too. It's like your germ defense swag. That's what this is, okay? So, we got to spin that again, y'all. I'm not going to tell y'all who. You'll spin it again. Okay. Samurai said it's me. No, it's not you, Samurai, but it is my boo, Angelica. I know you can't see it. Don't mind my phone, sorry. Angelica, congratulations, ma'am. You will be getting your box with your Fye Finance swag. Definitely appreciate you tuning in tonight and every week. Thank y'all so much for supporting me. I really appreciate it. So again, this is the last live of the season. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me during season 1 of Flip It with Samara. I hope this information has been helpful. While I will not be on live every night, I definitely will be posting videos on Instagram and possibly Facebook. I'm just doing some short cameos and also doing some DIY stuff on YouTube. So if you are not subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can stay informed and you can continue to get this good, helpful content, right? So thank you all again for joining on tonight. Until next season, Fye Finance family, you all have a blessed and wonderful Tuesday evening. See ya.